This is the big leagues where we own our terrible predictions.
Write this down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
It's Write That Down with Mackey, Judd, and Rami.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
That's right. And we today will crown a 2020 batting average and home run champion after the longest accountability session ever. No hanging chads this time around. Nope. None. And we also have one of the longest home run moonshots in Write That Down history.
I've seen it.
Just an absolute magnificent, majestic bomb. And some news to announce too. So Write That Down. We have completed contract negotiations with Write That Down, and we have expanded Write That Down into Purple Daily starting this week. Every Wednesday on Mackey and Judd, classic Write That Down, the version that we've been doing for a number of years here. And then starting this week, every single Wednesday on Purple Daily, we're going to make it a Vikings and football prediction specific. And if you want to be like loosey-goosey with that, if you want to make predictions that are only loosely related to football, we can have those discussions.
Okay, because I do have a Write That Down today that has on the NFL playoffs that I was going to use.
Count it.
In Mackey and Judd.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, if you wanted to predict like Judd will drink 9 beers while watching football on a Sunday,
well, I'll
as
never
long as it's loosely connected to football, it'll count.
Is that going to make it?
Well, I don't want to do that because then he would drink 8 or 10. He would purposely spike me not to do it. So,
That's true.
And he could do 8 or 10. So,
by the way, you made a prediction about me and making Bachelor predictions, and just to humor you, I have a Bachelor related prediction today. So I'm not just gonna hide from those. I'm gonna take my swings.
I figured, and I knew
you
would.
That's what Declan said. I asked Declan about that philosophy, and he said exactly that. Phil will take a swing.
I'll stand up to it. Yep. I'll stand up to it. So here's how it works. We're gonna go through all the different correct and incorrect predictions that will come off the board from the 2020 mostly football season here. But the way this works, every single week, 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs. We are the only sports show in America that actually keeps track of our predictions and holds each other accountable. And if you want to be part, we have a pretty open schedule. We have some people lined up throughout January, but we also need people to jump in for Purple Daily predictions too. So if you want to participate on Wednesdays and make your predictions as a listener, you can DM me at Phil Mackey, or you can send a DM to Declan at Dex's DEXS Dex's tweets on Twitter. Both of our DMs are open for better or worse.
Mostly worse.
Let's start with Judd. Mixed bag here, a couple pages for you. All right. Judd Zolgad. So this is going to be, we have like a 15-page accountability session. I will fly through these as fast as we can because this is a lot of stuff coming off the board, like season predictions. So Judd said the Jets will finish with at least 2 wins this season. The Vikings will finish outside the top 10 in yards allowed on defense. And the Patriots will not make the playoffs in 2020.
Yeah.
Nice start. You did say Alex Madison will lead the Vikings in rushing in 2020.
Must have assumed Dalvin Cook was going to get hurt or hold out all year.
You said BC Johnson will lead Vikings wide receivers in touchdown receptions in 2020.
Oh, yeah. I was smoking a lot of weed that week.
Clearly.
Just weed?
What else were you on, man?
What else could I have been on? Shrooms?
You had the Cardinals winning the NFC and going to the Super Bowl. Sean Mannion starting at least 2 games because of a Cousins injury, and Jordan Love making at least 1 start in his rookie year. Now, I will reserve that if Jordan Love makes a playoff start, we'll revisit this.
Yeah, I know.
If Rodgers gets hurt.
Those first 2 are absolutely awful. The last 3 I got wrong, I'm not too down on. Yeah,
you had Dalvin Cook leading the Vikings in receptions this year and Kirk Cousins as the Super Bowl MVP. Now, he was the NFC Player of the Week, I think.
He was.
Yeah, he was. So can you give me that, please? Yeah. Thank you.
Mr. Week 17.
I mean, it means the same thing.
You had Gary Kubiak not returning as the Vikings offensive coordinator. That counts for 2021, by the way. So these last 3 count for 2021.
Okay.
Because that came off the board after the calendar turn.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Jared
and
Spurgeon,
that's not completely confirmed yet, just a self-report too. So we might have to revisit that one as well.
I mean, Florio's going with it. Well,
people in the know what they're doing. Okay, right. People in the know.
Famous last words.
Yeah. People in the know.
People in the know.
Yep. Jared Spurgeon will be the next captain of the Wild. And you had the trio of Adam Gase, Matt Patricia, and Dan Quinn all getting fired by the new league year. Plenty of time to spare.
That's pretty good.
That one.
That's a nice little get for me. Right
2 month
there.
cushion with 2 months to
So
spare.
does that? So I'm sorry. Does that count towards this year? Then did that?
No, because your deadline there was for the new
Oh,
league
gotcha.
year, which
Okay.
is March.
Yep.
So these last 3, you start out with a 3 for 3 to start the 2021
okay.
season.
All right.
So
Gotcha.
not only are you leading last year's batting average race going into this week, but you've now started with a perfect batting average for next year. So
All right.
this is one of the Judd Zulgad is
I
in
hear
his
ya.
write that down prime right now. This is something to behold. Watching Judd Zulgad operate.
I'm Nelson
in this
Cruz
segment.
like.
Yep.
Like you keep thinking, guy's getting old. He's going to lose it.
No, he's better
And
than
I
ever.
I sleep a lot. I drink a lot. I watch a lot of TV.
Judd drinks in his hyperbaric
Yeah.
chamber. Jonathan Harrison, last year's reigning defending batting average champion, had nothing come off the board. Manny had a few things come off the board. He said the Bills would win the AFC East. Not a home run because they were the favorites after the Patriots and Tom Brady parted ways, but it is correct.
Yes!
However, he said Cam Newton will throw at least, I missed this one earlier, he would throw 20 touchdown passes with the Chargers. Antoine Winfield Jr. would have at least 3 picks or score a touchdown as a rookie. He was really good. He didn't do those things, though. The Vikings in the upcoming season will win at least 11 games, and Ezra Cleveland will make at least 1 start at left tackle in his rookie year.
Manny.
Oh,
Made
man.
a bunch of starts, but not at left
Yeah,
tackle.
dang, gone it.
Incorrect there.
Okay.
Rami Makloff here.
Yeah, come on down.
This will be the swan song for Rami Makloff, and this will also be the last week that we play Rami's intro music. We'll have a new intro for next
Are
week.
you getting a new one?
Yeah.
Yep, we got a new
We
one
have
coming
to.
next week.
Okay, nice.
Rami said Kevin Stefanski will take the Cleveland Browns to at least 11 wins in 2020 and a division championship
Manny, so
as
close.
part of a parlay. That's why you don't parlay, kids. This was a home run prediction
that's a home
without the
run.
parlay.
Yeah,
If you would have just left it at
but
11
instead,
wins,
you know what it was? A deep fly ball to the warning track, and that's caught.
Castellanos.
I was about to say.
I'd like to-
Deep drive to
I don't
left.
know if I'll ever sit in this chair again. That ball's gone.
Swing it and
That
run.
ball is gone. The Reds win the pennant. The Reds win the pennant.
My career's over.
I'm not sure.
My
if
wife's leaving me.
my Fox
Judd will take you the rest of the way home.
employees will ever allow me to work again.
I love the and my cohort will take you the rest of the way home. Just takes the headset off, leaves the card key. Let's see. Rami said the Packers will win 3 less games than they did last year. Carol Baskins from Tiger King will be charged with the murder of her ex-husband by the end of 2020. Instead, she was on Dancing with the Stars. So she became more famous.
Never watched it.
The Buccaneers will not make the playoffs in 2020. Cam Newton will have more wins in 2020 than Tom Brady. And Garrett Bradbury will make a Pro Bowl in his first 2 seasons. Not official on that last one, but because I don't know. I don't think
They're
Garrett
not
Bradbury's going to be on
playing
the alternate
They're not
list.
playing the Pro Bowl, right?
But they still name Pro Bowlers, don't they?
But the only way he would get
That's
in,
done.
Yeah, that's done.
Okay.
And
And,
he
and
didn't
there's not
make
going to be
it, and
guys
there's no
like
alternates.
So you're not going to
Yeah,
opt out.
our 8th alternate at center, which Bradbury might be, will not be named.
Right. All right. My list is bloody and bad.
Oh, well, you did swing for a lot of home runs towards the end. I'm going to give you that.
I told you guys a couple years ago, Les Miles will be fired by Kansas by the end of 2020. Now, they've been terrible under Les Miles,
Not
but
gonna,
he has not been fired.
because he's Les Miles. He can keep the job as long as he wants it.
Garrett Bradbury will make a Super Bowl in his first 2 seasons. Bill Belichick will step away for health reasons in 2020. Rob Manfred will not survive the 2020 calendar year as commissioner, I meant.
How did you mean that,
I was about
Phil?
to say phrasing.
How did you mean that?
Well,
I wouldn't-
either way, it would have been a
Either way,
point.
it would have been good.
Yep. At some point during their schedule, the Vikings will play 3 consecutive Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. The return of Mitch Trubisky got me there. If Nick Foles would have been the starting quarterback,
That's right.
I would have been right.
Ignore that one.
The Packers will go precisely 4-1 over their final 5 games. Dan Bailey will be on the Vikings still after the Tampa Bay debacle. He will make all of his kicks, which was correct, including one from 45 or more, which I also think is correct. But then I said he would make a kick that puts the Vikings in front with under 3 minutes to go.
Don't parlay,
And that's where my
kids.
parlay.
Oh, my God. That was a
Bloodbath.
There's
attempted a moonshot.
Oh, God.
I did tell you
Hey!
after Cousins' horrible start, I said he would finish the season with a passer rating of 92 or better. He finished at 103 or something. So that was great. I said KG will wind up with a slice of Wolves ownership in 2020. AP will run for at least 700 yards for the Lions. He did run for 600. Ngakoue would set a career high in sacks. If the NBA starts in December, LeBron won't play until February. That's wrong. At some point before and the Vikings will have to place one of these guys on the COVID list. Kirk, Jefferson, Dalvin, or Mike Zimmer. All of those were wrong.
Wait, when did you? No. Go back for a second. When did you say that last prediction about the COVID list? Because Justin Jefferson went on the COVID list in training camp.
I said it like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yep. I said it like 3 weeks ago.
I just want to make sure. I want to give you a fighting chance.
No, listeners have like 5 pages here of carnage, so we'll fly through
Should
this.
we read them all?
We're going to. Jeff in Texas said, by next season of Write That Down, we will have a new rule in place that at least one prediction must come off the board per week. Well, the new season's here, and I mean, we could talk about that.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
No,
we haven't added that rule.
I don't like it.
Nope. Josh said in week 17, the Viking season will come down to an Elway drive to get to the playoffs, and it will fail. That prediction failed. Nicholas said Kirk Cousins will help the Vikings get to the playoffs and beat Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers.
Sorry.
Maybe in Madden.
Maybe.
John said the Vikings will finish 8-8 and won't take a quarterback in the first round. Simon said the Vikings will be the 7th seed and win a wild card game. And Kirk said there will be no college football playoff this year. All of those were wrong. Here's more wrong predictions. Eric said, I think the listeners were just swinging for the fences on some of these. Eric said at some point during the regular season, Dalvin Cook will beat AP's single game NFL rushing record. Tony said Mo Ibrahim will finish top 10 in Heisman voting. Tony also said Justin Jefferson will have a game with 200 plus receiving yards. Alex loves DJ Wanham and said he'd get 5 sacks by the end of the season. He had 3. Dustin said at least one of Tanner Morgan or Rashad Bateman will be a top 5 Heisman candidate. Mm-hmm. And Frank said Dalvin Cook will miss at least 2 more games this season, and Judd will complain about his contract. He missed only 1 more game,
and Judd
has been complaining about the contract.
Yes.
It's just wrong.
But again, you can't parlay that.
It's going to be tough. Parlays are tough.
They're tough.
As Jeff in Texas learned again, he parlayed that the first pick in the NBA draft will not be on the Wolves at the start of the season with other things that don't matter because it's wrong. Nick and Blaine said Jefferson will finish top 3 in Rookie of the Year, which we don't know yet, but he said Irv Smith will also finish in a parlay top 5 in fantasy football points for tight ends.
Weird parlay.
Yep. Just listen. Just stick with the one.
Yeah.
Stick with the
one.
The
one was a great one.
Fine.
Andy said the NFL will not complete a full regular season. And John said in a home run prediction, by the end of 2020, the Wolves will retire KG's number. All those are wrong. Mark said Josh Allen will throw more touchdowns in the regular season than Kirk Cousins. It was really close. Yeah. It's like Josh Allen threw like 37 to Kirk's 35, but he was.
Yeah, but you know what? Mark pulled the listeners out of the fire on that one. Oh, we got more. More right?
Dude, it's crazy. So the listener said, Ross said, in the next completed college football season, the Gophers will not finish in the top 25. All right.
Yeah.
Brad said McLaren will finish 3rd in the Constructors Championship in Formula One. They did. I don't know if that's a home run or not.
If he's saying his shot, I think that's a home run.
I mean, but do we know enough about like McLaren? McLaren is pretty fast cars, right?
I don't know anything about it.
I don't know.
Okay.
Thank God for
you guys said
Google. You can find on Google.
Chad said Jefferson will lead the Vikings in receptions. He did. Nice. Alex incorrectly said by the end of the year, AEW Dynamite will have a higher rating in the 18 to 49 demo than Monday Night Raw. They came close a couple times, and they've beat NXT, but they never in a week beat Monday Night Raw. Brad said Tanner Morgan will be Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. Will said Jefferson will have more catches than Diggs, and Josh said Zimmer will contract coronavirus by the end of the year. All of those are wrong. And then I think this is our final page of listeners. Cooper said the Vikings will beat the Bears in both matchups. Bryce said Brady and the Bucks will not make the playoffs. The Browns will make the playoffs. And now it's incorrect because of the Brady thing, the Bucks thing. Chris said the Vikings will win the NFC North. That didn't happen. All those things are wrong. Tony said Jefferson has at least 7 touchdowns this year. That was correct.
Attaboy.
Ryan says Rick will make at least 2 trades in the draft, and the Bucks will make the playoffs. Harrison Smith will remain a Viking for the season. That's a 3-item parlay that hit.
Okay, that's good. That's real good.
But all those things were very likely, and so I didn't give it a home run. It's like the Bucks were favored to win the division. Harrison Smith was not like actually rumored to be traded.
And Rick likes to make trades.
So like it's a good prediction. It's not a home run.
I'm just glad for him.
You Vike that. So the Gophers will win the Rose Bowl next year. Eric said Tanner Morgan will get an invite to New York as a finalist for the Heisman. Zimmer will be fired, said John K. John K said something about the Huskers that was wrong on the quarterback front. Those are all wrong. And Dustin said the Vikings will end up picking between 5 and 14 on the draft. That's for this upcoming.
He got the 14.
It's pretty good. Mm-hmm. All right. So this is the last page. Jeremy said Hunter and Ngakoue will combine for 26 sacks. Oof. More of that didn't happen. Sam said Diggs will be named to his first Pro Bowl. Tyler Johnson will record his first touchdown. Those things were right, but Bateman winning Big Ten wide receiver of the year is wrong. Vikes fan 1930 said the Cardinals will beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Now we get to the fun ones. Those are all wrong. All right. Vikes fan 1930, in perhaps the biggest home run swing in the history of Write That Down, before the season started, said the Washington football team will win the NFC East with exactly 7 wins.
But the other caveat of this prediction was that he said Philadelphia will help them get in, which is even more of a tape measure shot. So at least from the screenshot of what he sent me, he said the 7-9, yes, that'll happen, but Philadelphia will play a role in helping them win the division, which is what happened.
Amazing.
But it's not on the official.
It's a home run, regardless.
I don't think you put the other part on here because we might have said like, let's just keep it with the quantifiable thing. Because I remember like he was trying to quantify something that wasn't quantifiable, but the fact that he said that makes it even more of a moonshot.
Yes,
this is an amazing blast.
The tape measure home run.
A home run.
Yeah.
Ryan also with a parlay that I think is a home run. He said Kirk will have a turnover in week 1. The Pats and the Vikings will both miss the playoffs. That's a weird parlay, but that's a 3-item parlay that did hit.
Mm-hmm.
Very specific.
Yeah, it's very specific.
So it's another home run for the listeners. We'll get to Declan here quickly. You said Gladney will have the first pick 6 by the Vikings this year. You said at some point during the 2020 regular season, Judd will say that Kirk Cousins can lead the Vikings to a Super Bowl. That someone on the Vikings coaching staff will voluntarily step down during the season, and that FSM will be back on YouTube TV by year's end. It was all wrong. You did say the Vikings will not lose a divisional road game, and I am giving that a home run.
I'll take it.
They did not lose a divisional road game. I don't know how many times in my life that's happened, but that's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations. Circle the bases. Declan also said the Vikings would win by 10 or less against Chicago. Lost. You said 4 WWE titles specifically would not change hands the rest of the year. You were right about that. And Dan Bailey will make his first field goal attempt against the Bears.
Nice solid end.
And with that lengthy accountability session, Judd Zulgad.
Over 400.
Ted Williams, like.
Oh,
now, I will
Rodney Klein Carew.
You still have a few predictions that are on the board from like the end of the year that need to be tabulated, but not enough to sway the title.
You know what?
It might be enough to sway your average.
I've got one thing
400.
to say. Stop the count. Stop the count. That's all I have to say.
I was 1 hit from catching Rami, and that's what I'm more upset about.
You were.
Oh.
But I think that was your first home run, though.
That was my second.
Second home run?
Yep.
Okay. Right on. So Declan with his second
and
home
the
run.
listeners end up with 5 home runs.
The listeners are the home run champions with 2 home runs in the final week. Big time power. So the final averages are Judd Zulgad 409 with 3 home runs.
409.
Final averages, there's a couple still that need to be like, so these might go by a point or two the other way or whatever. But Rami 344 with a home run. I'm calling it.
So you're
I'm calling it for Judd Zulgad.
You're calling the state of Write That Down.
Yep. Declan Goff 341 with 1 home run, a pretty good rookie season. I finished at 260 with 4 bombs. Listeners 210 with 5 home runs, very Adam Dunn-like. Manny Hill 196 with a home run, and John Harrison 175 with 2 home runs. Judd Zulgad.
Congrats, Judd.
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Go,
I think this is my second batting crown, right?
It is.
I think this is my second one.
Nice job. 2 in 3 years for you. It's pretty good.
Wow.
You know what?
Call him Joe Mauer.
The ball was just falling in this year. The ball was falling in. I was finding gaps.
And now you're off to a 3-for-3 start for 2021. Let's get our guy Devlin in here. Ultimate Twins fan.
Devlin fell asleep.
If you're still awake after all of the accountability session there, if you want to be part of this, if you want to make your predictions, you can send me or Declan a DM on Twitter, and we'll get you scheduled for sometime later this month or February or March. But Devlin, are you ready to swing for the fences, drop some bunts down? Like, which Twins player are you going to be more like here and write that down today?
I'm going to pull a Willens Astudillo and swing for the fences. No bunting today.
So your helmet's going to fall off.
First pitch, 2.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
No
First
takes.
pitch, definitely. Yep. Crash into some walls, just embarrass myself, but it's going to be fun.
A look of extreme consternation when rounding third base with your hair flying
Is
all
that
over the place.
consternation or constipation?
Probably a little of both.
A little bit both.
Yes.
Little-
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, Devlin, you lead us off. We'll go around the room. We'll make 3 predictions each. Devlin starts, then Judd, Declan, myself will go around the room 3 times. So what's your first prediction, Devlin?
All right, my first prediction is a Twins-related prediction, and I'm going to start off swinging for the fences. 2021 is going to be the year the Twins end their playoff losing streak, and I think they go to the ALCS.
Ooh, okay. Clarification on the second part of that prediction. Do you want the ALCS to be part of it?
No,
Or do you just
no,
want- okay.
I think this is the year they end the playoff losing streak, and then throughout that series, I think they win and go to the CS. But the playoff losing streak part is the prediction, not the ALCS.
Got it. All right, good stuff.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Judd.
The New York Jets will keep the second pick in the National Football League draft this April, or this spring, I should say, and select Justin Fields. So there's been, it's been out there. I think Schefter had a report that the Jets might shop that pick and actually trade the second overall pick in the draft. The Jets will not only keep it, they will select Justin Fields with it.
Write it down. You like writing things down. Write this down.
Declan Goff.
All right, the Redskins will knock off Tampa Bay in the wild card round.
The Washington football
Ooh.
Washington football team. Excuse me, WFT.
We are all offended right now.
yeah. Washington football team. I'm sorry. Washington will knock off Tampa Bay. The
That's a-
7-9.
Wow, dude.
Yep.
That is a
that a home run?
ballsy
Is
prediction.
that a home run?
No, it's a football game.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Now, if you said Washington football team will win 2 playoff games or something, I would
Sure.
say, all right.
Okay.
Plus, we already have a 7-9 team that has won a
It's
playoff
true.
game. It's a home game.
2 of them, right? I think the Panthers got in with 7 wins a couple of years ago, and they won their first playoff game too.
Did they really?
Yeah, Seattle and Carolina, I think it did it previously.
Write this down.
All right. Vikings fans are going to hate me for this, but the Packers will beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I think that's a home run because I'm telling you the 2 teams that will play in the Super Bowl and then the winner. The Packers will beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers will surpass Brett Favre in Super Bowl titles.
Sounds fair to me.
This is the year. And then this is not part of my prediction, but then he will play for the Vikings in 2 years. It'll be
Write this down.
All right, Devlin, your second prediction.
My second prediction is actually a wrestling prediction, and I have a little parlay on the end of it.
Yes.
Adam Hangman Page becomes the AEW World Champion by the end of the year by defeating his former partner, Kenny Omega. And the parlay is AEW will have a second show on TV by the end of the year. I don't know if it'll be dark or what it'll be, but they'll have a second show on TV at the end of the year.
I like it. I'm a big AEW guy. I watch more AEW than WWE right now.
I should watch
Yeah,
more of it.
same.
I haven't been thinking about it.
Same here.
Who carries
I
it?
love AEW.
TNT.
Okay.
TNT on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
It's a better product.
Write it
I
down.
haven't
You like
caught it
writing
yet.
things down.
Judd Zolgad, your second
I'll have to
prediction.
make sure to tune in. My second, write that down. The Major League Baseball season will not start before May 1st. So despite this, they're talking about we're going to start spring training in February. No, you're not. It's a bunch of BS. They will not start before May 1st regular season.
I would actually be just fine with that. Like, just push it by a month and have
There's
a more
no way
condensed
you can
season.
move
There's
at
no
the
way it
pace
happens.
they're moving.
I thought about making a prediction like this too, but I like it in the reverse of it. But there's no way it happens. They're not going anywhere. No way.
Write this down.
Declan.
All right, the Timberwolves will snap their losing streak on Thursday with a win over the Trailblazers.
Wow.
I'm just going to go with that their 5-game losing streak comes to an end against Portland and Dame and Dame Lillard and the Trailblazers. Timberwolves will lock off the Trailblazers snapping their 5-game losing
Do
streak.
we have any idea when Karl Anthony Towns could come back?
So I think John Krasinski said that he was being reevaluated and he's making progress and will be reevaluated when they come back home after the road trip.
Okay.
but it's week to week,
Mhm.
and he's got a cast on.
Yeah.
So
Is it the same wrist?
Yes.
It's the same wrist, but they tried to allay our fears by saying it's not the same. But I mean,
That's the
he's
same
got
injury. I mean, your wrist
he's
isn't that big.
got a
Yeah.
cast on. He's not
Write
playing
this
for a while.
down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
Write this down. Declan made a prediction that I would whiff on a bunch of Bachelor-related predictions, and so I'm not going to run from that.
Okay.
I'm going to face Declan's prediction head on.
Okay.
On this season of The Bachelor, Matt James, by the way, the first black male Bachelor in the history of the franchise, going back like 20 years.
Really?
Matt James. Oh yeah, that show has
yes.
not exactly evolved with the
no,
times.
it has not.
On this season of The Bachelor, Rachel will make it to hometowns. Hometowns, Judd Zolgad, are like, it's usually the final
Might as well
four.
talk wrestling to me.
When you get from like the 32 contestants that start the show and you whittle down to your 4 women, the 4 women, and I think it's been 3 before, just kind of depends. So I'm saying she'll make it to hometowns week.
Yep. Okay.
It's when the bachelor or bachelorette brings the contestants or I'm sorry, goes to the contestants' homes and meets their families for the first time.
Okay.
And then has to face like the angry father who's like,
And the parents do this?
oh yeah.
Oh, if I were
A lot of times you get the skeptical dads who are like, how long have you guys known each other? Like a week and a half? How many other guys are you dating?
And you're dating
30.
3 other women and doing this for 3 other chicks for the
Yes,
next
I
3
am.
Yes, I am, sir. It's
Great.
Sounds
Write
like,
this down.
Sounds like Declan
Easily.
going to meet the girlfriend's parents.
Nope, I don't. That's why I don't meet parents. Exactly. I avoid the parents until I know.
Till the wedding.
Till
Walking down the
yeah.
aisle, he's like, oh, good to
Hey.
meet you, Mr. So
Do you have a
so-and-so.
rule? Like tell girls at the outset, hey, this could get really serious, but one thing that we're not going to do is ever
Well,
meet your
the
parents.
best part is my parents are dead, so she can't meet mine. So that's also pretty legit. So I got that going for me.
How long do you wait to spring that on them?
That's
Just
it's
right
a
away?
very difficult comment because like I'm an open book about it. So I've used it on the first date and it's never really gone well. So I don't recommend
Have
it.
you ever brought that up and then just like got super drunk in like
Wait,
sadness during?
dead parents does not go well?
They just don't know how to react. People don't know how to react
Oh,
when
it's
I
a
say
sympathy vote, man.
That's what I thought. Not
Oh,
necessarily.
I'd use it right away.
The dead parent card really only works for what I would want it to work, like when shortly after the death happened. If you catch my drift.
Yeah, that's
You're like Will
I'm
Ferrell.
sad. Yeah.
Funerals are great
has
spots to meet
has
women.
a small amount to work. Anyway.
Write it
Go
down.
North
You like
Africa.
writing
Check
things
it out.
down.
Yeah.
All right, I think are we back to Devlin here?
Yes.
All right, Devlin, you're right. No, Declan.
No, I'm sorry. No,
No.
we're on the yes, we're on to Devlin. We're on to
Devlin.
All right,
I'm
Devlin,
sorry.
You just went.
All right, Devlin, your final prediction. We have Devlin's and
my
Declan.
final-
Who the hell is on the show?
My final prediction is for Judd. It's a hockey prediction. I'm not a hockey guy, but I know he is. Kirill Kaprizov wins the NHL Rookie of the Year award this
All
season.
right. Calder Trophy.
Yep.
Awesome. He
Boom.
might do. He might.
He has good odds.
I like it.
Devlin, great swings. Since you've got this gigantic, massive platform here on the Mackey and Judd show, would you like to thank anyone in your life that got you to this point?
No, not really. I'd like to thank, I guess, my girlfriend and my daughter. They're not watching and listening. They're doing what they have to do. But if I could have an extra minute, I do have one small bonus parlay. It's a wrestling parlay.
Oh wow,
That's it.
Yeah, absolutely,
Of course, yeah.
100%.
I know Judd's on the edge of his seat right now. He can't wait for this.
Between
Write
The
it down. You
Bachelor
like writing
and
things
wrestling,
down.
I mean, these are
Right?
my wheelhouse.
What's happening to the show, Judd? Wrestling and The Bachelor? What is this?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So what?
All right.
What's your parlay?
My bonus parlay is I think I'm gonna predict 3 WrestleMania matches, and I think those WrestleMania matches are gonna be Edge versus Randy Orton, which makes sense. I think it's gonna be Roman versus Brock in a Paul Heyman storyline somehow.
Ugh.
And then I think Drew McIntyre is going to defend the title against Sheamus. I think Sheamus is going to interfere in his match with Goldberg at the Royal Rumble. And I think they're going to have a 2-month feud till WrestleMania.
Just what I need to watch more WWE. What's going to hook me back in? More Brock Lesnar and Sheamus.
And Goldberg.
Yeah.
Like stop
And
Goldberg.
yeah.
Every time the ratings start to dip, Vince McMahon's like, oh my God, who from 20 years ago that was popular when wrestling was popular can I bring back into the fold? What's Goldberg doing? Anyways, great predictions, Devlin.
Exactly. And that's one of the reasons I like AEW like you do, because they actually build their talent.
I like
Amen. Amen. All right, that's Devlin, Ultimate Twins
Thanks,
fan
Devlin.
on Twitter if you want to follow him.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll get you on again sometime to take some swings and make some predictions. All right, Judd Zolgad.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
My final write that down for the old school write that down edition today. Zach Parise will score the Wild's first goal of the season. So the first goal of the Wild season against the Kings will be scored by Zach Parise.
And then he will turn toward the ownership and general manager
And
suite, and he will draw a C in the air.
he'll give him the old "your number
Well, I'm happy
one."
he scored the goal, but I really wanted to score the goal. I'm Zach Parise.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
You'll have look. You know what?
God.
I am starting this year with the Wild anew, more positive. I'm not going to rip players. This is going to be the new Judd, okay?
Write this
We'll
down.
see about that on Judd's Hockey Show, but yeah, sounds good. My final prediction. The Twins will sign 2 free agents this month. They're going to sign 2 free agents this month. Now, do you need me to like give a little bit more like specific on like money? Because
No,
like, I think is that can I just say 2 free agents
to major league contracts.
to major league contracts?
Yep.
Yeah, 2 free agents to major league contracts. Yeah, because I'm not counting minor league guys, obviously.
Yep.
So
Major league contracts. That's fine. And then the final prediction here.
Write
for
this
me,
down.
When's the Wild season start? Jan 14th?
Yes.
yeah, I think so.
Okay, by the end of the month, Judd will express frustration with the Wild on
It's a new
either
me.
Mackey and Judd or Judd's Hockey Show.
I will keep track of that.
It's a new me.
He will express frustration with the
Today
Wild.
I
Write
come
this down. Write
for
it down.
Judd's
You like
Hockey
writing
Show.
things down.
I come with nothing but positivity.
The block.
The U.S. won a gold medal.
Judd will help me defend against the Wild bloggers in 2021. That's
I just
not
don't
A
see it.
death match.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. I'm not getting involved in that. That's your ballywick.
Okay.
All right, we got to track down Patrick Ricey here, and we'll wrap with Ricey here. And again, a reminder: write that down. Predictions. You can find them on Mackey and Judd every Wednesday, and also on Purple Daily now, starting here in 2021 every Wednesday.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.